Hey guys, so here's chapter 9, but before we start, I have something serious to talk about. My great-grandma Shirley died yesterday. She was amazing. I missed her very much. Anyways, let's begin. Cooper was not back in time. Cooper was not back when... Oh, God! When Charles was working hard to swallow the cheese sandwich Mom made him eat before they went to the theater. Sorry, I had to get a booger. He was not back when they got into the bandit driving to the town hall. No puppy appeared when Charles was putting on his costume or having his makeup done, or listening to Mr. Green's opening night pep talk. Everyone in the cast was beyond talking because they heard they got an agent, a person who helps actors get parts in plays and movies and TV shows, was in the audience that night. Charles didn't care about that at all, since he never wanted to be on stage ever again. Now Charles stood in the wings, just as he had the night before dress rehearsal. He watched the two actors pretend fight in front of the pretend forest. Everything was just the same, except Cooper was not by his side. No twitching ears, no thumping tail, no bright eyes looking back into Charles. Charles groaned. He felt Maribel touch his arm. "It's gonna be all right," she whispered. "You'll be fine." That was exactly what Mr. Green had said. "You'll do fine," he patted Charles on the back. "Remember, I have complete confidence in you, with or without Cooper. You know your lines, you know the songs, you're all set. Just go and take a few deep breaths right before you go on, and don't forget to skip those new lines Mary wrote about the dog." By now, Charles had taken so many deep breaths he felt like as he might pass out. How could have this happened? Mary's friend promised to get Cooper back in time for the show. Charles looked at him, hoping that Mr. Maxley had shown up at the very last minute. Unfortunately, there was no puppy in sight. On stage, the actors were finishing up their song. A few minutes, waves of applause sprinkled with a few whistles and whoops, woohoo, came from the audience. The stage went dark. The stagehand scurried, and Charles and Maribel stepped onto the stage. They sat onto the couch and waited for the lights to come on. Charles' lap felt so empty without Cooper there to hold. He took one deep breath and tried to think about what Cooper would do if the puppy were on stage with him. Would Cooper be scared? No way! Cooper would be confident. Cooper would be calm. Cooper would carry on and do his best. All Charles needed to do was try and be like Cooper. The lights blazed on, and there was a scattering of applause for the new set. Maribel turned to Charles. "I've never seen Papa so angry before," she said. "What do you suppose is the matter?" Charles concentrated on looking at Maribel, instead of the dark mass of people who had filled the theater. "I don't know," he answered, "but it has something to do with a man named Ebenezer Lampmore." Charles gave him Maribel gave him a tiny smile, and they went on with the scenes. Charles got every one of his lines right, and only flubbed one note in their song. Mrs. Davis winked at him from her piano as she struck the final chord, so he knew she'd heard it too. But she smiled too. Then, when the stage When the stage went dark, at the end of the scene, Charles sat back and let out a long siren. "Keep a moment," whispered the stage hand. "We have to get this couch out of here." As soon as they were back on stage, Maribel pounded Charles in the back. "You did it, buddy!" Charles grinned. "I did, didn't I? I guess it's not so hard after all. But I still miss Cooper." "I think he missed you too," Maribel pointed down the hallway. There was Mr. Maxley leading Cooper towards them. Cooper's ears were up as he trotted eagerly towards Charles. "So sorry to be late, he said. "Car trouble. Mr. Green said it's fine until Cooper still appears in the play, but not until Act 2. At intermission, Mary's gonna give you a line to say about your new puppy." Charles squatted down to give Cooper a hug. He buried his nose into the thick, soft fur of the puppy's neck. "I'm so glad to see you, pal," he said. Cooper squirmed, thumped his tail, and licked Charles' cheek. "Great to be back. I had some adventures." "Did you?" Charles went to ask Mr. Maxley if someone he'd taken Cooper to meet was interested in adopting a puppy. But the sound of the applause told him that the scene had ended. "We're due on stage," Maribel said. She grabbed Charles' hand and they ran as fast as they could. Somehow, knowing that Cooper was in the building even made Charles feel more confident. He got through the entire scene, even without messing up once, and grinned at the audience when they applauded at the end. He was pretty sure he heard his dad's special whistle, the one he did by putting 2 fingers into his mouth. Let me try it again. I'm not really good at whistling, yeah. During the intermission, Mary Thompson came backstage with Cooper and explained the new line she had written for Charles. "When the Max line begins, you'll say, 'Papa, may I bring the new puppet to house raise hand?'" she said. "Got it." Charles kneeled to scoop Cooper into his arms. Suddenly, he couldn't wait to get back on stage. "I hope you're smiling down and listening to this from heaven, Great Grandma Shirley. I miss you. And so does Daisy May."